Welcome everyone here to another exciting episode of Midweek Media. That's right. Whenever I do this on a Wednesday, it's Midweek Media. When I do it Tuesdays, it's Tuesday Night Live. Tonight, it's Thanksgiving Eve, or National Food Coma Day Eve, as some people call it. I just wanted to welcome everyone here. And tonight, I'm not alone. I have a buddy of mine with me from the World Elite Podcast. His name is Marcus. This is one of his favorite movies at this time of the year. One of mine too. It's no better way to kick off Thanksgiving than without watching a watch along of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Isn't that right, Marcus?
What's going on? Yeah, and I got another name for today. Happy Royal Wednesday. It's one of the most drunkest days of the year. You know, everyone gets slammered head drunk the night before Thanksgiving.
So kind of like Monday, Tuesday, and Black Wednesday.
Sort of like that.
So this is technically Blackout Wednesday?
Yeah, it's like another name for it. I heard that in college. Like, went to a party back in, I discovered this in 2009. Like, my sophomore year in college, I went to a party, like a Friendsgiving party. Uh-huh. Yeah, we did Friendsgiving back in the late 2000s. And I was getting told, hey, happy Royal Wednesday. And I'm like, what the fuck is Royal Wednesday? And they were like, oh, it's an alcoholic day to drink and party before Thanksgiving. And I took it personally. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I've been drinking every Thanksgiving Eve, night before, the food coma day you were talking about. So, yeah, I'm on it tonight. I don't plan on getting super hammered, but I'm going to take it easy tonight.
I got some rum and tea right in my cup here with me.
I got Miller Lite tonight.
Yeah. So, in other words, I got my usual suspects here. I got my buddy Jagoda here, and I got my buddy Hunter in the chat as well. Hunter says, a great film, perfect time to watch it. He goes, hey, Jagoda. Slowly but surely work is dragging. Yeah, Hunter normally watches these at work, and I know, he goes, evening, everyone, can't watch at work. Just wanted to stop in and quickly say hello and smash that like button. Do what Hunter says, folks. As you guys know the routine, do as Hunter says. It's right there. Now they've updated snow tonight to about 8 inches. Hopefully we can only get rain. Yeah. Like my mother-in-law lives up in Pennsylvania. She has 17 inches of snow already.
Wow.
So it's like, wow. Yeah. So Jago goes, oh, nice. And Hunter says, hey to Marcus. So, hey, Marcus.
What's going on?
Marcus, before we start, let everyone know where they can find you at.
I'm on Twitter at MarcusLee337. You can find our show, World Elite Podcast, on Twitter at World Elite Pod. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I also do another show on YouTube called Sportsmania Plus, part of the Game Breaker Sports Network. Go to GameBreakerSports.com. go check out all the content they got there from wrestling and sports. You know a little bit about the Game Breakers Sports Network yourself.
I do, I do, and also not only that, Marcus, what is you guys talk wrestling on the World Elite podcast, right?
Oh yeah, you've been on it a couple
No,
times. We've done some TNA talk and
yes, I have, folks. If you guys like wrestling and want to hear an awesome podcast, check out Marcus and gang at World Elite Podcast. I will make sure everything's down in the description during this video. I'm after it's all said and done. So here we go. On a count 3, Marcus, we're going to hit play. I'm at the 2-second mark, like you said you were. So here we go.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, play.
There we go. Already hear planes flying. Let me lower that so you don't get in trouble. I always forget Gulf Western Company. I mean, was it really the 75th anniversary back in 1987, or this is just like maybe like a 4K version I'm watching? I'm watching this on Prime, of course. But I got to see when did Paramount start, because like I said, it showed 7.
The movie is actually only, I think, 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, 87 when this movie came out, so I didn't know if
Paramount is about that old. Right now, yeah. It's about that old.
Wow. And Steve Martin was so young at this time. Like, you think of Steve Martin?
It's hard to tell with Steve Martin because of his hair color always being that natural, like Leslie Nielsen, platinum.
But like, when you think of like any of his movies, you're thinking like Bringing Down the House or Cheaper by the Dozen when he was a little older. But like, this was kind of like prime Steve Martin right here. He had to have been like, oh, look, Ferris Bueller's Dad.
Yeah. The Jerk, Roxanne. This is right around that era. Three Amigos. One of my favorites with him is Father of the Bride. I love that movie, and that sequel is phenomenal too.
We all got that one boss who can't even make a decision, and he's like holding their thoughts. Like, just pick a cover for a magazine and let's get the ball rolling.
And you can tell everyone is like wanting to get out of there too.
Yeah, because it's they're ready. I mean, I don't know how some people with their holidays go. I know with Thanksgiving, I only get one day off. I get tomorrow off, and then I go back Friday, but I get the weekend off. But some people, their weekend started now. Some started yesterday. You know, some people have 2-day weeks or 3-day weeks around this time. Mine started
4. Mine started as 4. At 4 when I got off work, and it only goes until 5:30 on Friday morning. So when I have to start work.
Yeah, but I was all aboard on this because, you know, not only
May 18th, 1912 creation of Paramount. So
wow.
Damn. So yeah, so when this movie came out, it was the 75th anniversary.
Wow. See, John, and one thing is, I'm a big John Hughes fan. He's one of my like all-time favorites in the movie business, whether if he's a director or a producer or a writer. If you get him to do all 3, which we've seen, like this movie, for example, he's all the above. He directed it, he wrote it, he produced it. If you get lucky with movies like that, or The Breakfast Club, or She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, or Curly Sue, you got great movies like that. But don't get me wrong, you know, the National Lampoon movies are great. Pretty in Pink, Weird Kevin Science Bacon was another good one. Home Alone, yeah, I saw Kevin Bacon. Even Beethoven, he did Beethoven as well, and he did the Disney 101 Dalmatians movie as well. Mm-hmm. That's just to name a few.
Oh, yeah.
You might even see some familiar like faces. Like John Hughes movies remind you of like Happy Madison movies. I like how he's running with his like his briefcase in one hand and then his like
other suit jacket.
Yeah, with some 80s music playing in the background.
In dress shoes, nonetheless.
Typical New York style. Like he's dressed like he's in the Great Depression, going after the nearest cab. And I must say, and he almost nearly got killed twice, falling in the middle of the road.
It's funny because I believe that's the same hat he wears in Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, too. So, Steve Martin, yeah.
And let me tell you, I've been to New York one time around Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that busy and that chaotic. There's like people fighting.
Well,
I've always wondered, what do you think is in that trunk he carries around?
it's everything he owns. It's all the clothes that he has, those shower curtain rings, stuff like that.
But I remember he kept those like in a little pocketbook he'd keep in his pocket. But like,
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's all his clothes.
yeah, because you never saw him open it.
No.
But we find out at the end he don't have a home and everything, and while they're fighting, which he got robbed $50 over a cab, while John Candy is just loading himself in the cab. Which, oh man, John Candy's one of them actors. Like John Candy's one of them actors. Like I loved him as much as I love like Chris Farley, and he was gone too soon.
Oh yeah. I remember watching Wagons East, which was his last film that he died during the making of, John Candy, and it was one of those things. It's like I saw it and I'm like, knowing that, and you can tell where the movie didn't have him, that he did the beginning part and part of the ending part. There's this whole chunk in the middle that he wasn't a part of, and you can tell it's a completely different movie.
Yeah, and then like he even had appearances in movies like people forgot about and stuff, but you'll only people are only going to remember him in movies like that, or having the cameos in Spaceballs, the cameo in Home Alone, or Cool Runnings, or
Speaking of John Candy, how do you think this Spaceballs sequel is going to be without him? Without him, Bill Pullman, Joan Rivers, like.
Are you gonna at least have Rick Moranis in it or something?
I honestly don't know. The guy's retired.
It's not gonna touch it. Like you waited this long to make a sequel.
It's starring Josh Gad.
Same thing with Happy Gilmore 2. You waited 30 plus years to make a sequel of that. Like it's gonna be ass.
Now, if it was Billy Madison, like if they waited 30 years later and did another Billy Madison, that would be hilarious.
We were naming other good John Candy movies, and also people are gonna remember him from like Uncle Buck and stuff. But like, I wonder if these other people have ever saw Canadian Bacon or Summer Rental or
Great Outdoors,
Splash, Stripes. He was even in National Lampoon's Vacation. He played the parole officer Burton. Oh no, that was the Blues Brothers. He played Russ in National Lampoon Vacation.
Who did?
He played Russ in that one. John Candy.
Yeah. It's busy right now, but NYC, but not as crazy as a couple years ago. Yep, since COVID, only crazy traffic in the distribution warehouses.
And a lot of things you run into them like at the waiting area.
Yeah.
Where you're waiting to board.
Don't I know you? I love that cutout of just him going.
Like, that's probably one of the only movies I ever saw him with a mustache, and he could rock it.
Oh, it almost reminded me, like, it almost at some points in time in this movie with that mustache, like Dom DeLuise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of him a little bit in here.
Yeah. But, like, I think the funniest part is, like, you'll see it later in the movie, like, when he's selling them shower curtains, but he's selling them, like, earrings, and the girls actually put them on their ears.
Yeah. One of the things I love about this movie is when they get to the other airport, and you have Edie McClure, the redhead lady there.
And from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, the entire F-bomb change. I mean, the funny part is she's always known as like a little sweet lady behind the scenes of and everything, and just to hear her swear like that, it's like, whoa,
you're fucked. Yeah, yeah. I think her best line was when she was saying all the type of people that love Ferris Bueller, like sluts, guts, bloods, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. He's one righteous dude. And then she's talking to that pedophile, fucking Jeffrey Jones, talking about, makes you look like an ass is what he does, Ed. That's not a funny part.
I have a first class ticket, but you have a coach seat assignment.
How much you think plane tickets cost in the 80s? Because obviously a hotel room could cost you $40 in the 80s. Where today,
he's talking. He was taking the red eye, not necessarily red eye. He was taking a direct flight from New York to Chicago. I've actually flown that. Yeah, I've actually flown to Jersey and
me
Pennsylvania.
too.
And the cheapest tickets I've ever gotten were like $60 one way, and that was through Southwest Airlines. And this was like a couple years ago. So I would assume maybe about the same price as a hotel, maybe about $40-$50 back then.
That's like super cheap today. Where I've seen plane tickets cost $200 to $400,
Yeah.
and that's like flying coach.
Hey, there's my home right there.
Chi-town. Look, you even see
Chi-town.
Baton Rouge and Houston at the bottom of the list.
Yes.
Hell, even New Orleans. You see two cities. One city I have a 50-50 love-hate for, and city I love, and College Town I go to all the time, all in one screen. So that's a triple hell yeah right there. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I wonder if you think I'm shocked those were like actually sturdy. I was waiting for that shower scene where one of them the curtains was gonna like break apart and he falls.
Yeah. It's funny. The guy sitting right by Steve Martin. John Candy tries to sell him one of those earrings, and he's like, "Oh, my wife has a whole bunch of them, little dangly ones." That's him.
Wow, that is him. Like I didn't get how they made this rated R. Like I figured it was PG-13, but they do drop. Like I feel like Steve Martin and
F-bomb.
Red the F-bomb scene, but
it's that entire F-bomb scenes. Okay,
you
here
don't
it
even
goes.
hear
Hunter
John
goes.
Candy
Most
dropping
flights that
F-bomb.
were $99 in the 80s. I would say round trip were $99. Right, Hunter? Is that for round trip or is that one way?
I'm going to get my food out the oven real quick. I'll be back.
That's perfectly fine. Go for it. Oh, don't you guys just hate that when it's on in the airport and someone takes off their shoes? That's why I wear flip flops or sandals to the airport. That way, I'm my feet are breathing all day, all the time, and they don't stink as much. So, the old guy coughing on him, and Dell leaning over. We're not making it Chicago. Oh, yeah, $6 at mine right now. Yeah. Yep, unless there's international travel. Yeah. Yeah, round trip, like I was saying, it was about $50 one way, I remember. Those are the super cheap ones.
I will say, like, of
New
my
York to
experiences,
California was 99 each way. Okay.
I will say my experience of flying. I've never ever flown in a plane where I had to sit in the dead middle. I've always had window seats.
Yeah, so
Or
I shouldn't say that. I've been on international flights and I've actually sat in the middle of those. Some of the planes are great, some of them aren't. But you just turn on Friends in like 4 different languages and you've seen it enough, you can do everything that way. So
yeah. Now they're on canceling flights. Like I can imagine, when we flew to Chicago, we were supposed to have a round trip, go from New York to Chicago, Chicago to New Orleans, and we got delayed like 2 days, like because the flight got canceled from a massive blizzard, and we were stuck in Chicago for like 2 days because of massive snowstorms, and I had to miss school for like a day or two, and it wasn't. It was like almost nearly the weekend when we got back home. So
nonstop, it's always cheaper with layovers. It all depends on the layover because me and my wife, when we went to New Jersey this past year, it was one of those things that it's like we could have had a layover. There were two choices for layovers. There was either Atlanta, Georgia, or Los Angeles, California.
Oh look, so everyone's favorite teacher or announcer.
or game show host.
Yeah.
Oh, Caveman's here. How are you doing tonight, guy? Hey everyone, I hope
Ben
everyone's got Thanksgiving, so please hit that like button. Hey Caveman, thanks for joining. How are you and your wife doing, man? I've been trying to follow you guys on Facebook. You're in my prayers.
I remember his
thoughts and prayers, man.
I remember his Clear Eye commercials where it's like, wow.
Wow. Clear Eyes is awesome.
Bueller.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
always going to get known for that.
Out of everything else, it's like Chicago has a blizzard, and they take him all the way to Wichita, Kansas. St. Louis is the closer airport.
Maybe the snow blizzard came from or flew into like St. Louis. Like,
oh, it could have, yeah. How are you, K-Man and Hunter talking here? Hunter, how you doing, my friend? Just lurking on the internet. Yeah.
You can tell that's a blue collar airport when they have carpet on the floor. I've never been to an airport with carpet on the floor.
And you don't see airports like this anymore. It's like those little, like, the one here in Wichita where it's just like the gate.
See, I've never been to Kansas, but I would definitely ride that taxi.
Wolf.
I think it's the music. Like, I like classic rock or alternative rock. Like, anything like glamour rock, Hair Nation. If you got Sirius XM, I got Hair Nation as one of my channels. I'm trying to think what this band is. It don't sound. It's definitely not like Def Leppard or Poison.
The best part is about this. It's like how far the whole hotel is from the airport. If I was doing a layover, I would stay as close as I could.
Yeah, I guarantee you they're probably about 8 miles from the hotel. Yeah. I mean, from the airport.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably go furthest. I would probably go out as 5 miles if I had to. Because that's about a 10-minute drive, depending on traffic. Time marker guy, we're at 16:06. Right now we're at actually 16:11 right now. 16:11.
I've never been on a cab with hydraulics either.
Me neither.
You can tell that's like not a safe hotel. That's probably like maybe one of the dangerous areas of Wichita.
What's going to come in? A farmer with a pitchfork?
Oh, like the John Carver killer on the Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, it's like this. How Dell knows this guy? It's like, seriously.
How he knows everybody?
Yeah, so $1 million shy of being a millionaire.
That I used to laugh so hard at that
Some
fucking
airports,
line.
Some airports have hotels on property or connected to the airport directly. Yeah, there's also some that you could tell are working with the airports because they offer shuttle services as well too.
But that was crazy how they did credit cards back then, like that little machine right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
I ran a couple of those machines at when I was in college at like the food stand in the college. You would pay with a debit card and it's right there.
So I wonder, how do you know if it declines?
You wouldn't until you put that into the bank the next day, and then you would probably figure out if it declines from there.
You can get away with not paying for a room then if it declines.
Yeah,
I can't. I've lost count of how many times I've stayed in hotels looking like this. You got like the summer looking bed set and curtains. You got the like dry thin walls. You got that little round table in the corner. I would have loved to see what the TV looked like, but I think they do.
We're at 18. We're at 18010. We're at 1810 right now. 1810 for Caveman.
By the way, the bed's like got a motor in it.
You graduated this year. The movie came out. Huh? Hey, Caveman. Well, congratulations on that.
No, so he got to be he got to be like almost 50.
Guy, he's a good guy. Oh, this scene, it's.
When I saw this, I take it that Dale took a shower first.
Yes.
He already said, "Why don't you go first?" Oh yeah, there is the little box TV right there.
He opens it up. He grabs a pillow out of it. So.
Yeah. He kind of made the mistake putting soap in his eyes when you realize the water is gonna get like cut off for a bit and then it gets cut back on. But times were different back then. Hell, you got a damn like coin dispenser for your little vibrating bed.
Well, not only that, but you could also smoke in your room.
Can't do that a lot today unless you go
Nope.
to like a Motel 6.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why. Every time I saw that bed vibrate, I was always waiting for the bed to like collapse.
Well, I always thought it would have been hilarious if like the bed started moving around the room. It was that bad of a vibration that it would just shake so much and it would start moving around the room. Yeah, look at that sink. Oh.
I've lived with people that did shit like this, and it drove my fucking ass crazy. And that's the funny part. You think that's the only tile left? It's a damn hand rag.
Yes. And not even a towel on the floor.
Why does he need all them towels? I mean, did he just like get water everywhere? He need to use fucking 3 towels to clean the floor up?
Hey, Movie Hunter. Hey, Caveman. Tiana saying hi to everyone. And mid 80s, smoking was everywhere, even in grocery stores, airplanes, malls. Yep. Guys saying, well, I guess I should be flattered by saying I'm younger than what I am, 56.
I knew things were gonna get rough when you got 2 big ass men sharing a. That's got to be a full size. There ain't no way that's a queen, man.
No, it's a full.
That got to be a full size.
Yes. For the amount of, for the time, yeah, it's probably a full size bed. Considering there's also a chair in there. It had like a little desk, so it was probably a full size bed.
It's got to be cheap as hell if you just got one full size bed for the whole room instead of one mega king size or California king instead of 2. I can understand if you got 2 full size beds in there.
Well,
but nowadays
it also could be he could have also had just a single bed left in the hotel because you're talking. This is probably a hotel that is busy with riffraff or dweebs, dickheads. As Ian McClure would say in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, love that movie too. Who didn't love Ferris Bueller? It was a John Hughes movie.
It was.
One of the movies he did all the above.
Matthew Lawrence is his son in this movie.
She act like she ain't never seen her husband in like ages. Like I don't know if they just haven't seen each other in a date. I don't know.
Well,
making it sound like they ain't seen each other in forever.
He's an ad exec in for a magazine, so I'm wondering if he travels a lot, or that he said, "Oh, I'll be home by this time," but then he's not, and so she's probably up worried about him, about his travel.
Yeah, because back then you couldn't text your wife and say, "Hey, I got a hotel with a buddy that stole my cab," like
with the guy I met on the plane. Yeah, and not only that, but you would also, if you called collect, you would always have to say what you were there for on the collect call. I would never, like, I would do the collect call just to leave that quick message and then just hang up.
Wow.
And they're like, well, so and so denied the charges. Okay, they got my message.
Yeah, times were different.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With how the world is today.
Well, even early 2000s, when I graduated in 03, it was from high school. It was like, it was completely different then. It's like, we still ran in on cash.
Oh, it's having his outburst. Like, if he wouldn't have stopped talking, where do you think he'd have went? To the damn airport or some shit?
Probably see if there was another room. Ashton Danube. This guy puts in so much work, he deserves more than 500 subs. For real. Get a bro silver play button. Thanks, Ashton Noob. We had beeper cell phones in mid-80s. Yeah, I remember Saved by the Bell was Zach Morris's like big wireless phone with the big antenna coming up. That was hilarious. And guys, like Ashton the noob says, he obviously thinks I put in so much work on this channel that give me a silver play button. So you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification for whenever I post a video, folks. Hunter saying hey to Ash.
I bet if you had this scene on YouTube, it's already got like millions of views. Or the rant at the freaking airport about his rental car would probably have the most.
I know I've seen the one a lot where they're in the car and he turns into the devil. I've seen that one a lot.
With the sarcastic laughs watching the car burn to fucking ashes. I don't get how that car's still ran.
Well, it was one of those things that I like how Tommy Boy kind of did the same joke with him and David Spade with the car as they kind of did in here. Like I kind of like that homage in Tommy Boy.
With the deer.
Oh yeah. Or how the door falls off and it holds on and David Spade opens up and goes, "What'd you do?"
That poor fucking car.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Funny how they rigged it, put a tarp over it with some windows. Had a little cage door.
Is this thing street legal? It technically is a roll cage. It technically is a roll cage, so it is legal.
The cardboard door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on.
I love this part right here. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me.
Yeah, that was funny line.
Article. I love how he deadpans that. He just says it's serious. I'm like, finally got a load time check. Okay, guy. 26:45. 26:45.
And then we're about to jump to one of the funniest scenes ever where they're like freaking snuggling and spooning.
Oh, my hand's between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
This is ass cheeks, boy. And then the most manly thing you could say, saw that Bears game? Yeah.
Yeah. See that Bears game? Oh.
Thank God there wasn't a third person.
I think that would have been probably a little bit more hilarious if there was.
I don't get how deep of a sleep you went to not hear a guy break in your room and stole all your cash.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I didn't realize till they were in the diner, he actually stole out of both their wallets.
Uh-huh.
Like, how do you not hear shit? And then he's not even freaking out. Like, see, he could have just woke up at any second. But then he somehow crawled his way out of there. Oh, my shit. Look at the assholes on those pigs. Is that what vaginas look like in Kansas? Because, oh my God, that's a no to me.
Oh, look at all those Cracker Jack. Chiclets.
Look at the chiclets.
The Cracker old, Jack on the bed. Right on his
He was drinking. I'm trying to see what kind of beer that is he was drinking. Like, they even got both their wallets on top of each other. Like, there wasn't two nightstands. You have his on one side because he crammed about, oh, you stole out of my wallet. And he's holding his hand too, and he's like,
kissing his ear.
Eskimo kissed him too. I'd have been like, motherfucker, get the fuck off me. I would have loved to see the outtakes for this, like them spooning in the bed. I bet they were fucking dying laughing.
Those aren't pillows. Oh. No, because on his side of the bed, it was the The luggage. You
Who
usually use the luggage as a table.
who does that? Ugh, shake. Like I'd have been like pushing and shoving, like you motherfucker. That was some G-rated shit. Like ugh, like a friggin' gay man. Like ugh. Well, this
They're
was
going.
1987.
Yes.
The Bears. This was the year after 2 years after they won the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd have shit a chicken if this would have happened to me. Washing my face and you got your fucking dirty socks with the water left over from last night. I bet it smelled. I bet it smelled the ass. And how's did that not overflow? Oh wait, no, he just turned the sink on.
Yeah.
And he's wiping his face with his underwear. That's a fucking parachute. Why does that look like a house I've seen in another John Hughes movie? I know that ain't the McAllister house,
No,
is that
but
Bueller's old house?
I think so. It looks very similar. I think John Hughes used a lot of the outside because there's a neighborhood in not Arlington Heights, one of the
Well,
heights near Chicago that the McAllister home was in that look a lot like that. So he could have just went into the same
well,
neighborhood and shot different scenes from the outside of the house.
I used to hate diners where they'd smoke while you're eating. Like that was so back in the day.
I miss diners.
Oh, I miss I still see a couple around, but they're non. Hell, the Waffle House is basically a diner.
Yeah, it is. I
that you can't in.
I remember being in college in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. I went to the Val Rio diner. It's the same diner that's seen in the Steve McQueen The Blob movie. And they have all memorabilia from that movie up there. It's like, oh, this was cool.
I bet today in a diner for two people to dine in, your ticket will probably be like $30. I bet that day, that time of year for two people is probably like $12. I'm gonna guess $12.
He had coffee and what, oatmeal?
Steve Martin had a coffee and oatmeal. I couldn't tell what John Candy was eating. Then I realized it's like, oh, he got robbed too. It's empty. What? We were robbed. No shit. You know, it's funny. The guy sitting so close next to damn Neil, he could be just listening in and be like, "You guys are fucked, man." Well, they still had their credit cards, so I guess they charged their food.
Yeah. That was the same couple that came in when they came in last night. That just left.
Look at his boots are not even zipped.
Yeah.
Like, well, he can tell he looks homeless. His whole wardrobe don't even match. Like, you look at Neil, he's wearing the same outfit he wore yesterday. Supposedly he wore that for 2 days straight. You look at Dale, he's that blue freaking Chicago coat, the little tan Monica Lewinsky looking hat. He got the earmuffs, the scarf, the red gloves, the maroon burgundy pants.
Yes. And Caveman says, I don't understand why hookah bars are allowed to exist today.
Then you got this motherfucker coming to so-and-so's cousin. I'm coming. Cal. You're bringing y'all to the airport. Well, there's no airport here. We'll bring you to town over like an hour away. And you're going to ride in the back of my pickup truck with my freaking dog that hides in the hay. Warning, don't drop anything in the hay or you won't get it back. Owen. I can't stand people who dip. We actually, he looked like
I don't mind if someone does, but this guy's just over the top.
Oh, that's a dickhead move. He like spit in his hand and then shakes his hand. Like he got the shit into that. Try to get his. I hope the wife wasn't pregnant. Wait, Wife wasn't pregnant when she said get out the car to get out the truck to help him load that damn trunk up. But he said, "Oh, the baby was born sideways, came out sideways."
Yes.
How's that even possible? Unless she had a fucking C-section.
People train runs out of Stubbsville.
Stubbsville, Kansas.
Yes. So why wouldn't a train run through Wichita, which is a bigger city than Stubbsville?
Obviously, well, it's not their capital. I think Topeka's their capital.
Yeah.
Wichita maybe like. Oh, you see the shotguns hanging on the rack of the back window? Yeah, don't get more
She
country than
might be
that.
small, but she's strong. I'm wondering if I think Randy Quaid would have been perfect in this role, but I think people would have been like, "Oh no, that's too much like Cousin Eddie." But it would have been hilarious to see Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie in this scene, because in Wichita, and then for Christmas vacation he's at Clark's house in Chicago.
Yeah.
So
I've never been to Kansas, so obviously it does get cold up there. He said it was 1 degree. How did he just guess the temperature, or he saw what the temperature was like on the news?
they probably saw it in the diner somewhere.
I heard one. I was like, "That's hilarious," but you think it'd be 1 degree? It'd be really more snow and ice everywhere. Looking at how that scene looks, it probably looks like it's 30 something degrees with the sun out. I used to laugh at that scene where they're all like iced up, and even the dog.
I love how their credit cards were switched on accident and they haven't realized it yet. I'm like, you would think.
Yeah. So he'd been like paying with the old boy's credit card the whole time. Yeah. And you don't have no way to check and see if you've ever overdrawn or anything in your account. You'd have to like go in person to find out. You can't just check on your phone or anything. Which cell phones didn't exist unless it had a fucking backstrap over it, like a goddamn military phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a beer.
Well, I assumed that there was some sort of electronic credit card readers because the airport would have had to have used them.
If they did that, then it looked like it'd probably be like a black screen with like it kind of looked like the clock of a microwave. Yeah, like how the font and texting look. If it said insufficient funds, it'd be written in the font of a clock on a stove.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be all high tech and color and everything. You notice they got the barrel on fire in the background?
Yeah.
Probably all. I'm going to grab a beer real quick.
All right.
And then I want to talk about trains for a second.
Family ties. Over the bridge, over the water. Here we go. Here we go. And the train just breaks down. Can't catch a break, Kenny. For those of you watching along, we're at 3750 right now. 3750.
Okay, so the only time I've ever been on a train. Now, I never traveled on a train. I just rode an actual real train. We did a Polar Express one time in Texas.
Okay.
And they treated it like the movie. They made all the passengers wear pajamas. They gave us hot chocolate and cookies and gave us a gold ticket. And I just love how they want to be dicks and like, oh, y'all gotta like take all your shit and walk like what? How many miles to like the next town over? Like, and they couldn't even call for help to like try and get the train rolling. Like, I'd have been really pissed right here. Walking through looked like cow shit.
Yeah, it's fresh. It's fresh tilled dirt. So.
How far you said that like the nearest like town was or whatever?
It was Jefferson City, and he said the trucks would take you there, so you have to at least travel by truck. But you had to at least walk like what was it, across this field in order to get to those trucks.
I thought they said you had to walk like a couple miles.
Yeah. Happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, Cal. How are you doing? So, Marcus, you got any big plans for Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna be at my parents' house tomorrow. We're gonna cook, watch football. We were supposed to get some rain tomorrow. I don't know how bad, but I know we're getting a major cold front this weekend. Dude, that dude got mice crawling on his fucking knee.
Yeah, coming out from the hole in the box.
Like, they should have called the movie Planes, Trains, Buses, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Dude, if I've been in shit like that where a fucking annoying ass kid would just run up and down the freaking walkway of the bus that need his little ass. And where does he find all this food from? And then today they would be making out on the bus. People would be. I like how no one's not disturbed by this. They're like, fuck it, let them do what they want. Why does he look like that? Like, why they look so familiar?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Is that where we first heard that line, or that was just more of a line from the 80s?
I think it was more so a line from the 80s.
Besides yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. Our tickets are only good to St. Louis. Okay.
Oh, that you used on my credit card that you accidentally grabbed.
Well, no. There was a hotel clerk that switched them around. He laid them in front of him wrong.
And then he just gets them all to sing along, and then Steve Martin sings a song, and they're like, what the fuck?
What type of song is that?
And then they end up singing, I think Flintstones.
Yeah. Stones. Meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock. They're a page right out of his story. Well, you have to know your audience. You're on a bus ride, so a lot of these people are going to know these TV theme songs. Back in the day when they actually had words to the theme songs.
Yeah. You'd have to like watch it really good.
American Light and Jewelry Division.
Like, I wonder how much he's charging, like a shower curtain ring.
This is Czechoslovakian ivory.
And he's like lying through his teeth.
Walter Cronkite moon ring.
You ever like just say, "Oh, you got a pamphlet so I can read about this approval shit"? Like you believed anything in the 80s.
Yeah. Remember payphones, Marcus?
Oh yeah, but I guess the phone was sticky or it was covered in jizz. I don't know why he was holding it like that.
Yeah, it was sticky.
All right. I still see payphones around, but they're all like they don't work.
I don't see any around here anymore. You want to know something that makes you look a little older too? Pass for 18, 19. You would, Hunter. Do you still put money in it to make a phone call? Is it hooked up? Okay, so they're eating a salad.
He got the weirdest wardrobe. A red sweater with a bow tie. And then this guy still got the same clothes on.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Hunter, that you have a working payphone in your movie room. Awesome. Who needs arcades when you can have a payphone?
I've showed my youngest sibling is 16, and I showed her a payphone, And she's like, that was the lamest shit she ever seen. I'm like, that's how people talked in the 80s and the 90s. Like, people didn't really, cell phones didn't become like super big till like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, now see Martin. Now Neil's like, well, maybe if we put our heads together, we can work something out together. It's like, because you've been riding
Be
his
like,
coattails this whole trip.
writing a character. If we put our heads together, we just stay home forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, oh, you got the DVD.
I got the 4K right there. Yeah. I like the steelbook.
Yeah.
I like the steelbook design better because it's the plane series of automobiles and the like the old like clock tick for like the airports where before they were digital, how they would flip like that. Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
I was gonna say it looks like a street sign, but
On this one, yeah, on this one, but on the 4K, it's actually on the Blu-ray,
no.
I should say, on the steelbook. I'm sorry.
Well, the theatrical poster, it looks like it's a white background, and they're sitting like on a bench, and he's like,
yeah,
he looks like scared, and then John Candy looks like shocked and hilarious, and he's got, I don't know if that's a little paper cup of coffee or a paper cup of change in his hand, and then you got like the little 80s font of a John Hughes movie.
Yeah, agree. Cell phone were not common. Payphones were the only way back then when you were on the road. Yeah. Oh, here we are. Marathon car rental.
Oh, this is the best part of the whole fucking movie. And then you realize, oh, Neil stole his fucking car. Dell stole his car. Because they had something about the credit card issue. When it caught on fire. Yeah.
See, this just shows you inventory systems back then. Because you would think the computer system would pick up that, oh, V5 is not there.
Yeah. I wonder how long that walk was back to like the main desk of that like car company. Because he seemed like he walked for miles.
It's right at the airport too, so I would assume it's where he's at. It's at least another 2 miles to the airport, because he had to get there by bus. They would have just done a bus if it was right outside in the parking lot. If you had to cross a major highway or a major road, they would have bused you.
Yeah. Oh, he almost got ran over 3 times if you include the part where he's sliding down the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I had to walk 2 miles and damn near cheated death to try and get a rental car, I'd be dropping F-bombs too. And the handle on his briefcase is broken too.
Oh, I just noticed that now. Wow.
If you think he had another suit in the little suit bag, he'd have changed his suit instead of not wearing the same.
I think it's more so it was more so the trench coat.
And is that where he lost his hat? Like his hat's gone.
Yeah. That's where he lost the hat, and I think in the bag was more so that trench coat he's wearing. Because he doesn't wear that trench coat the whole time. Sometimes he does, and sometimes it's not. So I'm assuming his suit coat's in there. When he wears the jacket like that, yeah.
Oh, God, I love her.
For those of you who are watching along, we're at 48:05. 48:05.
God, I fucking love her. Like,
oh yeah. Edie McClure.
She'd be like that grandma. She'd be like that grandma everyone wants. She'd make a great like nanny or nana or whatever you want to call people would call her. Gobble gobble.
She looks at him and is like, "Whoa, what's wrong with you?" Yes. This is why it's rated R right here.
I wish I had a count how many times dropped the F-bomb here.
It doesn't even say that it's for language on the back of the box. So I heard a rumor that this was actually ad-libbed, but by Steve Martin. Yeah. Because the scene was a lot smaller. I think we need to make it. This guy's really pissed off. How could you do it? And he just goes in this tirade. I threw it away. Oh boy.
Aww.
Boy, what?
What? You're fucked.
Oh.
I'm surprised security didn't escort him out with his tantrum. And then he almost got his ass kicked by a fucking, what is that, like a fucking bellboy. Mm-hmm. But
you're messing with the wrong guy.
I would have loved to see him throw him in the car by his balls, too. Dude, that was a good punchline.
It was.
Oh, you're a joke. I'd follow you to the John and watch you take a leak. People who took punches in the 80s take them hilariously. Well, like squinting your eyes is going to make it better.
I'll squish your head like a melon. What is your problem?
You're a insensitive asshole. You grabbed life bottle balls.
Holiday Road.
They could pass us a station. It kind of looked like a station wagon convertible.
It does.
But is that a Durango? That ain't no Durango, is it?
No.
I'm shocked the damn fucking the trunk never, like, at once flew out. Hey, and they could have got home in one piece if he didn't smoke that cigarette and get his jacket caught in the seat freaking lift.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I feel like I've seen it in another movie. I highly advise, if you're driving and crazy in the middle of the night, don't have Ray Charles playing in the background. If you don't believe me, ask John Candy or ask Ted.
Do the mess around.
I felt like they stole that scene from this movie. And Ted was driving with John and the girl sleeping in the back, and he's texting and driving, smoking a cigarette or drinking and driving.
So you see the thing with this? I think it would have been a little bit funnier if he was polka. If it was plain polka instead of Ray Charles.
Oh, Sheboygan.
Yeah. Because of his character in Home Alone.
I'd take a shot every time I heard polka.
You broke the seat.
Yeah, polka this, polka that. I'd take a shot every time I heard polka in that scene in Home Alone. Remember when they wanted they were talking about doing a remake?
Yeah.
One or two different times. I think it'd have been better if they did Will Smith and Kevin Hart and not Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of glad they didn't remake it because
Or
I hate
Tina
when
Fey and
they
Amy
remake
Poehler.
classic.
Tina Fey and
Oh
Amy
yeah,
Poehler would have been good too.
yeah.
Oh, they kind of did redo it. It was called Tommy Boy.
Oh, Chris Farley and
Yeah, David Spade.
David
Yeah,
Spade.
yeah, especially in the car scene. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, like if they were to remake it, those two would have been perfect together. Thank you. You're welcome. You broke the seat. I don't believe it. You broke the seat. Puts him all the way up into the window. I'm putting my wallet in the glove compartment. Don't let me forget it. All right.
And he does. Ray Charles made some kick-ass music.
He did. He did.
Being blind, I bet he pulled so much fucking pussy. But that's what he named that song after. I messed around with a lot of women and couldn't see to believe it. Like I felt like this was a ripoff from Ted. Like Ted 2 ripped this scene off.
Yeah.
Like Ted swerving on the roads, John and the other chick sleeping, and Ted smoking a cigarette, texting and driving, drinking and driving.
Oh, this was
Except
also. I think they also did a scene like this on Looney Tunes.
with the song.
No, with a different song because I remember that face John Candy was making. There was a fat guy with that same kind of mustache that was playing a piano in a scene. Oh, what other movie was it, Marcus? That it escapes me right now. That they actually got turned around to and thought they were going the right way, but they were actually going the wrong way. Besides this one,
Oh, not Due Date. What? No, it wasn't Due
no,
Date. Fuck.
was it Dumb and Dumber?
No, no, it wasn't Dumb and Dumber. It seems how it takes forever for a car to catch a leather seat to catch on fire.
There goes those two guys could have made a banging reboot of this.
It's probably like -4 degrees outside, and you're worried about being hot. And then this is where one of the funniest parts of the movie come when you get your jacket sleeve stuck under the little like deal to adjust your seat.
It's the little hook on the sleeve, you know, the one that you pull to make it tighter. Yeah.
I'm shocked he never like ripped the jacket up. Like I was waiting for a rip to pop up. You have the nerve, just pull over.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm gonna go try the other side, and then they got the lift handle instead of the knob, and then you wrap that around that, and then you're like really screwed, man.
And then he takes his legs and starts driving it with his legs.
Yeah, like I don't know. I've seen my sisters do that shit. Like they can be eating food, like fast food, and they can like take their legs up and drive. And I'm like, how the fuck? I can barely drive with one leg. I gotta use two hands. Imagine wrecking. Imagine rear-ending somebody and your balls get crushed against the steering wheel.
Yeah.
That's gonna be painful. I would have rather got grabbed by the balls like Neil did. And then look, he takes an exit.
It doesn't even know. It's not even numbered. Sees a stop sign, and then all of a sudden, he stops, and then all of a sudden his arms are free.
And then he wakes up like calm. You think he'd wake up like, oh shit. And then the windshield wipers match. That is some shitty windshield wipers. Like, the windshield wipers we got today are like
Oh,
huge.
we almost hit a deer. That's all. It's hot in here.
Yeah,
Take your parka off.
yeah, because it's probably like -4 degrees outside. You're worried about it being hot, and then yeah,
And
you're going the
now,
wrong way.
yeah, just entering through the exit they just came off of.
If you had GPS, you'd know that you go in the opposite direction. And then of all things, you got two semi trucks coming side by side,
Yeah.
and your car was able to like slide right in between them. And my truck, oh no, my truck would have been fucking shattered.
It's a cardigan. Thanks for noticing.
Oh yeah, killer boots, man. And then you got them like no, like they're drunk.
Yeah. Meow.
I don't know if I can sit through a watch along with Dumb and Dumber. I'd be laughing hysterically of how many times. And you realize the smoke coming from the back seat. They're probably, driving down the interstate. The usual
he's
speed
drunk.
limit, like
how would he know where we're going?
And he can barely hear, because usually the speed limit on the interstate is at least 70 miles.
And there's at least a decent median in between those two sides.
And then you would not see no exit signs or nothing. Everything would be opposite. Then you'd be like, oh shit, I am going the wrong way. And you think traffic would be super busy. And then he notices, he's noticing, oh, we're going the wrong way. He's looking at the snow.
With it being that dark, you would think you would see those semis a lot sooner than this.
That, and then there might be something on the road. Oh, the skull heads. How do you look like Sinister Minister from ECW? And then there goes the trunk.
Doesn't even open up.
And you think the semi trucks will have pulled over and assisted? No, they just kept going.
And his fingers are melted into the dashboard. And then it was screwed.
Yeah, he bent it.
Not to mention that those brakes are shot from suddenly stopping the one way he did and then suddenly stopping now.
The way the lights blinked off, like pong, like they were gonna break.
Well, this isn't so bad. I thought it would be a lot worse.
That is worse. You dented the whole side of both sides of the car before it gets lit on fire from that cigarette. But we can laugh about it now. We're all right. That'd be like my response for a near accident. He's looking at him like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, I feel like he would fight him. Yeah. He would do that would be a fight like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fight you now, and then just boom, cheap shot him, and then you got grease playing in the background.
Oh, that was the rack Steve Martin was pushing. I was like, what was he dragging? And I'm like going, oh, and then I just saw it now. It's like, oh, it's the rack from the car where the trunk was on. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit there, and then all of a sudden, the car catches on fire, and before they turn it around to actually show you that the car's on fire, glass is breaking. He turns around, and you would think it's not necessarily a shock to him. Then see,
well, if they're 102, if they're 102 miles from Chicago, they're got to be at least an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Like
And
they're obviously in
if you're coming
Illinois.
from St. Louis, you're probably somewhere like, say, Downers Grove area. Maybe a little further than that.
Judging by the map, they're already in Central Illinois, so they're like probably in Springfield by then. Or I don't even know where Springfield, Illinois is.
Springfield's about an hour and a half from St. Louis, straight east. So if they're 102 miles from Chicago, chances are they're probably somewhere near like Normal, Bloomington Normal area, which is about 3 hours north of 3 hours north of Springfield. So
yeah.
Oh no, sorry, about an hour from Springfield. My bad.
Yeah, so that's where they're.
And about
I doubt
about 2 to 3 hours from Chicago.
Like they could probably be in Decatur if or even Bloomington or something.
Yeah, like I said, Bloomington Normal. Yeah.
Which I mean,
I gave the gal behind the counter a set of shower curtain rings. Can't rent a car with shower curtain rings.
I always figured like Illinois would be a super big state. Obviously, they don't look like it's that big.
It's not. Yeah, like I live like an hour outside of Chicago. It takes me, what is it, an hour and a half to get into Indianapolis, to get to Indiana, sorry. And then probably like that's what, depending on traffic. So I'm going a little more there.
They say
it's about a 2 hour drive from where 2.5 hour drive from where I am to Iowa. So they're not too big.
They say it takes about 4 hours.
I found it. I knew you stole it. Thought you put it there. Why would I do that? Kindness.
It says it takes 4.5 hours to get to St. Louis from Chicago.
Yeah.
They was gonna pay him back all that
with interest.
And then I'm gonna assume.
Why can't
you?
If you're stuck in your wallet.
If I'm estimating this, they're obviously, if they're not in Decatur, I'm gonna say they're either in Decatur or they're in Bloomington right here.
Oh, they could be in between, because that looks like a lot of farmland there, so they could be in between the two.
Well, I'll go ahead and say that milk truck ride.
It just punches him, and then trips over the El Rancho Motel.
So I'm gonna assume that milk truck ride from Bloomington to Chicago is about 2 hours, 2 hours and 4 minutes. I don't get how the car's still running after how melted and burnt up it was, but somehow the engine was still
you punched me in the gut. That's how Houdini died,
And then their wallets were.
And he's touching the metal of the car that just got burned. You would think his hand would have a lot more burns on it than it does.
Yeah, look, and the seats are melted. Like, that's got to be uncomfortable right there. And then, it's funny when they pull their wallets out, all their credit cards are melted, and their cash is all like ashed up. And he's offering his expensive wallet.
Credit card.
Yeah. Diners, gas card.
Well, I love how it's a Diners Club card. You don't have that anymore.
Oil Co. That hotel clerk looks like a fucking serial killer.
$42.50 in cash.
Like, that's cheap. But then again, look at where they're staying. Look, and they already got Christmas lights up.
Yeah.
I can't wait till after. Can't get through Thanksgiving. I'm trying to guess the chips in the background. I see some Doritos maybe or some Fritos. How much you think those were back then? Like 25 cents?
We're the same one ever since Tuesday.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. I would have not said that with pride. I couldn't even go 12 hours without changing mine.
El Rancho Motel, Gurnee, Illinois. But here's the funny part. Yeah, that might have been filmed in Gurnee, but Gurnee's north of Chicago.
Well, actually, the plot of the filming, majority of the film took place in New York. South Dayton and Batavia, New York. Now the
Oh,
airport
but
scene.
yeah,
They
Batavia.
did shoot us Braidwood, Illinois.
Yeah,
That must have been where his house was.
yeah.
Like, dude, that hotel clerk looks like a serial murderer.
No, I don't. I have a
$2 and
there's
that
an
fucking that watch you could
Casio.
buy like at your local Walmart, a Casio that they probably don't even make anymore. Like a fancy sports watch.
Yeah, so if that was in Gurnee. Gurnee, Illinois is actually where Six Flags is. Six Flags Great America. And that's kind of northern, like almost near Wisconsin's border too. So it's like so that's north. That's not anywhere near where these guys should be. Oh, now Neil's going to feel all sad. I gotta say the pacing of this movie is actually fantastic because we have 22 minutes left, and it's like, and it doesn't feel like we've been watching this for an hour and 10 minutes.
It went by like super fast.
It did, and it's the thing about some of these movies like this, like back in the 80s, it just seems like they went super fast. It's only 92 minutes, so it's like, yeah, 92 minutes, so it's like, okay,
You'd think he'd be freezing to death, right? Like, I don't get how.
well, the car's probably still kind of warm from the melting and burning, so that's probably keeping him warm.
Yeah, you're right about that. And then he's like, all of a sudden has a heart like, yeah, it's freezing outside. Just
That's the scene that everyone kind of glosses over. I wish you were talking about his wife. I wish you were here right now, but I guess it's not going to happen. Not now,
yeah, you'd
anyways.
think you'd think like, oh, she has to have passed away or something. Then you find out at the end of the movie, yeah, she's been dead for a while.
Yeah. Get
And
rid of the mini bar.
right, yeah, they basically robbed the mini bar, like the little mini bottles of. I'm trying to see what that is. Is that like tequila or vodka or
Seagrams, I
whiskey?
believe. Or tequila.
See,
Oh, it's a mixture variety. So it's like tequila, vodka. They have
oh
Doritos.
god, yeah.
Remember those Doritos bags?
Yeah, I missed though. That was classic nostalgia.
Oh, it's kind of like
And
the
then
old maroon wild cherry Pepsi cans.
yeah,
And now Pepsi
and
stuff looks
hey,
all the same.
they're carrying the tradition in 1987. It's Blackout Wednesday or Royal Wednesday over there. They drinking tequila and all that.
Yep.
They had like the Thanksgiving Eve is ranked as one of the most alcoholic days of the year, like outside of like New Year's Eve or 4th of July and all that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are usually guaranteed to have Thanksgiving off, so they all get like shit faced the night before.
Is not a big enough word for how I feel about my wife.
To the wives. Another typical like fancy hotel from the 80s with all the brown and everything.
Well, it's a theme. It's like El Rancho, so there's like a skull head on the outside and everything. You don't see those around
Hmm.
anymore. Those theme hotels.
Yeah.
There's one up in North Dakota, in Jamestown, called the Wagon Wheel Inn, and literally you
Oh,
go into their driveway and there's a couple huge big wagon wheels right there, the old wood ones. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's like decked out in this like kind of like log cabin motif. It's kind of cool.
No.
This feels like I'm in summer camp. Oh boy. That light's so low. And he just burns himself.
Oh, this is a hilarious scene
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
Give
Got
it a
the
good
car stuck in,
push.
and then he backs into the freaking motel. Like they didn't have security cameras back in the day, or couldn't even like examine who ran into their building.
Or see whose car's damaged.
Also, they had another damn snowstorm where the car's like his face, like, oh my god, let's get the fuck out of here.
And it's funny how the motel, the office is opposite of those rooms right there.
The back looked like it didn't even get damaged. I wonder if that car's still hot. Like, do you think they could have had a warm ride with no top in the freezing ass weather of Illinois?
Yep.
And he's got the left blinker on and he turns right. And now he's blinking, he's holding his hand like, I'm turning this way.
Look at those
Them
tires.
tires,
Yeah.
oh, them tires look like they're about to blow off.
Uh huh.
Like, they need to be rotated. Like, what the No wonder they got pulled. That one looks like it's on a donut.
Oh, it's a town and country.
They're like, what the fuck? They got a fancy, nice little car, and then they got this little shindig. Hell, even the radio still works in the car.
78 miles per hour, and here comes the cops.
Yeah. An Illinois State Trooper car like got the weirdest shape with siren lights, and they got the megaphone on the top. Every time I think of a classic movie where someone gets pulled over, I think of the scene from Black Sheep when he got pulled over in
Yes.
the cop car.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how fast you were going? And he's like, I could get about 155 trying to chase a chick in a Ferrari. And he starts laughing and he's like, you were going 7 miles.
I love Michael McKean. I love the car stops in Super Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
We will give a replay today. Meow. Okay. How are we doing meow?
If you're gonna plan on doing any watch alongs for Christmas,
Yes.
if you consider a Christmas movie, I gotta be a part. If you haven't done already, I gotta be a part of Grumpy Men.
Oh, grumpy old men. Yeah.
Yes. Later,
I might.
schmuck. Yes. Oh god,
Walter Math,
I watched the.
Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon are just so good together.
Well, I love Walter Matthau from Dennis the Menace.
Yes. Yes. Their Odd Couple movie was fantastic. And then they did the 1 years later where they were older. That was awesome too. And I always thought Grumpy and Grumpier Old Men were just those same characters, just a lot older.
Oh yeah.
Until it's made for safe for travel. He has one man on, and the other one he doesn't. Where did
I forgot
he
they
get
had
that jacket and that? Oh, is that Dell's hat, jacket, and scarf that Neil's wearing? Because
No,
all
it
his
looked like,
stuff got wet.
yeah, most likely, or he just wanted to wear something different because he wore the same outfit for like 2 days.
The tow truck's actually towing it.
That makes you wonder, how did he manage to get in a damn a an 18-wheeler hauling milk. They say a milk truck, but it was 18-wheeler. Did he sell like did he sell shower curtain rings to him too?
Yes.
Where are you gonna put that at his home? Because he ain't got no shower in that truck. Yeah, he's definitely wearing his clothes. Maybe not the jacket, but the hat definitely.
Yeah. In that car, it looked like it was a brown jacket, not a gray one.
Yeah, see, I forgot there was a sequel to Grumpy Old Men. Like the first one was always a classic. I might have
grumpier. They're the grumpier old men. Yeah.
I may have watched it and just don't remember it, but yeah. It said less than 3 hours. So they were about damn near 2 hours away. So they were probably somewhere by Bloomington in this scene.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's I can't.
It's Akinash.
Noggin. Ashkenagin.
Yeah, Ashkenagin.
Is that like an actual like brand milk in Illinois?
No, it's Wisconsin cheese. Because
why do they say a milk truck? It's hauling cheese, but it's a milk truck.
Yeah, it's a cheese truck. Because it's yeah. See, they're in Chicago right now. They're at LaSalle and Van Buren.
So you've seen this. You've actually may have saw that part in person.
Which means that
I'll tell you,
I don't think Neil lives in the city. I think he lives in, you said Briarwood, which is an actual like
kind of lives in a suburb.
Yeah, kind of like you know how New York has boroughs, which was kind of like a suburbs. Yeah,
like Brooklyn and Queens and all that.
Yeah, Briarwood's one of those types of things.
Same with like Rosemont.
Oh, Rosemont's an actual suburb, though.
What about like Northwestern University? Is that whatever that's at? That ain't considered Chicago. That's like a whole nother like town or city.
Yeah, that's a whole nother city. Yeah,
but it's probably like not far from Chicago. Kind of like how Ann Arbor is not far from Detroit.
Well, it's kind of like this. The Bears purchased Arlington International Racetrack a couple years ago. They just got approval from Arlington Heights, Illinois, that a deal that got worked out for them
to build the new stadium.
Yes, the property tax goes to the Bears. Have to pay the property land tax to Arlington Heights so that they can help it with the infrastructure of roads and stuff like that, which is a great deal. And the Bears get to keep the revenue made on there. And they were thinking about making it a whole complex, kind of like Wrigleyville, where it's like businesses around there are supporting the stadium and stuff like that. Bears want to do that. So it looks like we might be moving to Arlington Heights, Illinois. So people are like, well, they're not in Chicago anymore. They need to change it out. I'm like, Dallas is not in Dallas. Houston's not in Houston.
The Chargers Houston actually is. Like, their stadium is in Houston. But Dallas, no, theirs is in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, and notice the Giants play in Jersey.
Yeah, they play in the Meadowlands.
Yeah. So it's not really where it is. So,
well, look at same thing with like the Miami Dolphins, Miami Gardens. That's like one. SoFi's in
San Francisco's outside of San Fran.
Yeah, they're in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
No, Houston. All their sports venues are in the city. Like,
I kind of forget how big Houston is compared to like Dallas. You think Dallas is huge, but Houston's bigger.
Yeah, like half of Dallas's sports venues are in like another borough.
I haven't been home in years.
No, Houston, all their shit's in the city. Like 2 of their venues are in downtown. Well, it's not Minute Maid Park no more. They're renaming it Daikin Park in January. That's in downtown Houston, right by the skyscrapers. And a block away is the Toyota Center. That's in downtown. NRG Stadium and the Astrodome are side by side. Oh, and the soccer stadium's in downtown Houston.
I love that he got off somewhere just to pay a ticket to go back to LaSalle and Van Buren.
How much you think train tickets were in the 80s?
Well,
Cheaper.
I mean, the L train here is not that expensive.
Like maybe like $5.
Yeah,
Kind of
this
like a
back then
kind of
was
like a tollway.
yeah, it was probably about $5 back then. Nowadays, it's like to go from one area to another, it's like $15-20 depending on how short of a distance it is. The shorter the distance, the less you pay. So,
Yeah.
and that was like the blue line. So that's the number 2 line in Chicago. So I would say about $20 nowadays, which
And
isn't bad.
how far you think they walked together with that damn trunk to his house? When they show the scene of them walking side by
Yeah.
side in the middle of the road.
Well, we don't know where he gets off at either. How
And
far
how
from his
heavy
actual?
that damn thing even is. They're carrying it like it ain't shit. Like
Well,
it could be a dead.
well, we know there's a pillow at least in there. Well, a lot of the stuff is probably gone from there.
He looked like he lives in a peaceful neighborhood.
Yeah, this is definitely a suburb outside of Chicago. This definitely looks like one of the houses across the street from the McAllister's house.
Well, hell, like I know, like I don't think they really did scenes in that house. They just did the outside scenes,
Yeah.
but I know, like they did. They rent like a lot of his movies. They rented like they had like a gym or something. They rented like remember the scene where Kevin McAllister went down the basement that was flooded? That was a swimming pool.
Yeah.
In a gym that they did. They like decorated as like a basement. When I watched some documentary on Netflix about
Matthew Lawrence. Wow.
Yeah. I watched what was the documentary on Netflix where they like looked back at 80s movies and showed how they made them and the drama and everything. It was on Netflix. I forgot what it was called. Then he's having mixed emotions because like I remember when I had a wife.
Hello, Mr. Griffith. Hello, Mrs. Page.
Yeah, she looked like she ain't seen him in forever. And then they had our like special love moment.
It's more so, hey, I'm glad you're safe type of thing.
And it's like one of those famous shot scenes. Like I seen a collage of the 80s and a couple like they used that song Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Yeah.
And they showed the scene of them walking together on the road with the trunk, and then they showed the scene where they're hugging, and then he has that emotional smile at the end when
that scene with them on the truck. That's my where they're with the trunk walking. That's my thumbnail.
Oh yeah,
just watch along. Yeah. Directed
yeah,
by
I remember.
John Hughes.
Yeah, he directed this, and he produced it and written
and wrote it. Yeah, I know. Well,
and rest in peace, John Hughes, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah,
you think he's better than out of like? You think he's higher than Steven Spielberg or any other famous director?
Well, it all depends. If you're talking awards, because that's how most people you cover sports. That's how most people in sports do it. The more championships you win, the better of a player you are. I would say for comedy, I would say he would be on par with Steven Spielberg.
Well, here's my top 3. It's like top 3 favorite directors of all time. I put John Hughes at number 1, Tim Burton at 2, 3 would be Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. I mean, I won't argue with you with that top list. They're not mine, but yeah. John Hughes is on my top 3. Dylan Baker, Carol Bruce, Olivia Burnett, Diana Douglas, Martin Ferrero, Larry Hankin, Richard Hurd, Susan Kellerman, Matthew Lawrence, Edie McClurg, George Opetri, Gary Riley, and Charles Tyner.
I like Opetri. I even like F. Gary Gray.
Yes.
I like him too. He did the Friday movies. He did Straight Outta Compton.
Since we're talking movies and everything, Christmas Vacation.
John Hughes movie.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation. You want to know something? It's amazing how many different stars are in that movie. Like, especially in Clark's family, like the old grandma, the really old one, was the voice of Betty Boop.
Yep.
So it's like
I would say I'd say get Dylan for a watch, but Dylan don't watch that movie unless it's Christmas Eve. That's what he does.
Yeah,
like I would like. I mean, I watch it on Christmas Eve now. I took that tradition from him, but it's like I could like watch it at least twice.
One of the traditions around one of the traditions around here during the holiday season, so from like Thanksgiving to Christmas, is watching Spaceballs and Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
So like I got my Christmas marathon list ready. The only thing is
let's hear it.
There's okay. Now the only tradition I have, I always kick off the holiday season like whatever day I put my tree up. I usually put it up on Black Friday, or I'll do it like the weekend of Thanksgiving. Yeah. I always put on Home Alone while I'm watching it. The Home Alone always kicks off my holiday season.
Okay, because that's not a bad one to start it off with.
That was always one of my all-time favorite like Christmas movies as a kid. Like I always had Home Alone at the top of the list. And then somewhere down the road, of course, I watched Home Alone 2. You can't watch the first one without the second one. Which one's your most favorite? The first one or the second one when he's lost in New York?
The first one.
Yeah.
New York brought something else to the table where it's like he doesn't know his way around there. But yet it just seems like he's getting away with a lot more stuff there than he did back at home. But I'm like, home felt cool because it felt like almost something you could do yourself.
Yeah. Now, down the list, I didn't put them in no particular order. I'm watching them until I get to the bottom. But it's like I put Home Alone at the top because I always kick it off with that. And then, like, I got Batman Returns because that's a fucking Christmas movie. I don't give a shit what people say.
Oh, now, if that's a Christmas... There's a big present. There's Christmas trees, yeah.
Even though the movie came out in June of 1992, but
it was filmed in December.
It was plotted around Christmas time.
Yep.
Now, if that's a Christmas movie, then I'm gonna assume The Batman is a Halloween movie because it happened around Halloween time.
Yeah, I would assume too. Layla Robbins, Michael McKean, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Now I've watched this one I'm about to mention. I've watched the second one a few times, but I decided to put it on the marathon. I got Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2. I watch Bad Santa every year. That's one of my favorites. Billy Bob Thornton and all them. Like, I watched this one for the first time last year and I freaking loved it. Violent Night. It's back on the list. I love that movie.
Do you have Silent Night on there?
No.
Okay.
I've took some movies out. Like I don't have it on this year because I just wanted to check it out. But last year I had Santa's Sleigh on there. Okay. Like I said, I have to watch this shit.
Is that the Goldberg one?
Yeah, it was fucking trash. It sucked. Like it wasn't even scary. I laughed just as hard as I watched the Thanksgiving horror movie. But now when
I forgot about this scene at the end where the guy is still debating about the magazine covers and he has a turkey dinner right in front of him.
Now, Violent Night, like I said, Billy Bob Thornton was my favorite Santa Claus until I saw David Harbour.
Okay.
David Harbour killed it as Santa Claus, but John Leguizamo in the movie as the criminal, like I haven't seen him on TV since The Pest.
Yes.
And that good shitty movie. Super Mario Brothers movie.
Very good movie. I
like to party with my babes. Yeah, and they got a pedophile in that movie too, Jeffrey Jones. What else I got on this list? Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Good one.
Fighting over I didn't even know who Turbo Man was, but when I saw that movie, they actually made Turbo Man dolls, and I actually got
with the late great Phil Hartman. Yeah.
Oh, poor baby! Like when he busts his ass and he tells him, "Poor baby."
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Big Show in that movie as one of them Santa Clauses in that in that warehouse.
Yep.
Giving out shitty Turbo Man. Jack Frost, not the horror movie, the one with Michael Keaton.
Yes. That was one of my earliest reviews on this channel.
Okay, so I got three Grinches on this list. I got the OG, the cartoon from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I got Jim Carrey's Grinch, of course, that I've watched 10,000 times. I probably watched this just as much as I've watched Home Alone. That's my sister's favorite Christmas movie ever. We can memorize every word for word in that movie.
So say what you will about a half an hour cartoon. They made the Grinch movie, the one with Jim Carrey, that much better.
Oh, I fucking loved it.
It's
Like,
opposite
I've
with
watched.
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Oh, I hated Cat in the Hat. I
It's
even put
probably
the
Mike Myers
CGI
for me.
Grinch. I put the CGI
Oh,
Grinch,
the
even
Benedict
though I haven't.
Cumberbatch one, yeah.
I liked. I liked it. I was like, well, at least they didn't like remake a live version. They made a CGI. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I've only watched it a couple times. I used to hate this movie, but once we watched it and it was all right. Elf.
Yeah.
Um,
It's that and Christmas Story, in my opinion, are overplayed. And for me, I like Christmas Story. It's not on a rewatch every year. It's on a rewatch like every 2 or 3 because I'm just sick and tired of seeing it all the time. Because
yeah.
it plays a lot.
Well, you also had you had some good. Yeah, I mean, you had some good people in that movie
Oh
too.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'm not complaining about that. It's just
I mean, you have James Caan. I mean, he was in Misery, and he was in Godfather. He was
in
in all
Elf,
them
yeah.
movies,
In Elf, yeah.
and 19. He was in 1941 also, and he was in
The-
Bulletproof.
You got the Dinklage, yeah.
What a yeah. He was also in Santa Slate too, which that movie sucked. I told you about that.
Do you have I'll Be Home for Christmas on there with Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Fuck no.
Christmas with the Cranks with Tim Allen?
Nope.
Santa
I don't
Claus?
have any. I don't have any Tim Allen movie on there. Like, I'd have put the first Santa Claus, but
Yeah.
it's like, nah. The only Tim Allen movie I'll sit and approve and watch outside of Toy Story is Jungle to Jungle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
But that's not. Then of course you can't have Christmas without A Christmas Story.
Yes. Yes, you cannot.
I don't know. Like, I remember when I first watched that movie in school, and it was one of those like movies I got hooked. It's like I gotta watch this every Christmas.
And then they replayed it on TNT like 24/7.
Well, they have A Christmas Story marathon on TNT. Like, I remember one time I saw it, like when I was still watching AEW, you'd see the damn infomercial, oh, A Christmas Story marathon, and I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Office Christmas Party. That's a watch along we should do.
Maybe they should yeah, I agree with that one. Maybe they should have play that in the arenas in AEW more so than AEW itself. Maybe they'll garner more people.
Yeah. Office Christmas Party. Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Never seen Christmas Story. I know, Hunter. I know you've never seen it. I know.
That's just the movies I can watch any time of the month. My last 4 is always Christmas Eve, no matter what. One is one of those like traditional movies. I got the OG Christmas Carol, the one from the 80s.
Okay.
Fuck. I'm trying to remember who's on that movie. Not the CGI with Jim Carrey that they did in 2009.
Which Christmas Carol? Like the one with Alistair Sim?
Yeah, the one in 19 the one with George C. Scott.
Okay. That one.
The one that he was the best Ebenezer Scrooge, I thought. And then I also like Francis Finley's a good actor too. He was in that movie as well. He was the one that played Cratchit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another good one too. And then you even had Michael Goh in there. He had Alfred in there playing a role in that movie too.
Yep.
No, Frank Finley was Marley's ghost. Bob Cratchit was played by David Warner.
You know what? One of my, besides the Alistair Sim one of Christmas Carol, you know what my other favorite one is? The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah. Hell, David Warner's portrait I'm looking at, that looks like a presidential photo. But I only remember him in this movie and Titanic. But no, Michael Goh played in this movie. He was Mr. Poole.
Okay.
He was Mr. Poole. Frank Finley was Marley's ghost.
Okay.
He was Marley's ghost, and then
Marley
I thought
Marley. Ooh, we're Marley.
I thought what was funny was the one they got to play. If you remember that version of A Christmas Carol, the one with George C. Scott playing Ebenezer Scrooge. The guy they got to play the Spirit of Christmas Present, Edward Woodward,
Yeah.
with that long hair and that beard, you thought he was Hillbilly Jim.
Yes. Yes. Also, you know which one I like the Patrick Stewart one. The one that was like the made for TV movie. Because it was more of the it seemed more like the play than anything else you would go see. It wasn't filmed like a movie, it was filmed more like the play, so.
And then after that, it's like Friday After Next, every Christmas Eve. Die Hard, I get debated about that all the fucking time with Die Hard. That's a Christmas movie.
It's like Batman. If you're going to put Batman on the list, you might as well put Die Hard on the list. Or vice versa.
Now, I don't watch the other Die Hards. It's like, I just only watched the first one because it happened around Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then...
And we all know what spun off of Die Hard. Family Matters. We all know this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, some would say... yeah.
Al Powell.
Yeah. Some say that Al went into like witness protection, became Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole thing was.
And then you had Snape playing Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Oh, Alan Rickman.
Hans Gruber. Every time I hear that name or I see him, I start singing the MacGruber theme. MacGruber. Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, I always, and I wrap it up with, of course, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I fucking love that movie.
If that's not on any, if people don't have that on their list, there's something wrong with your Christmas list. I mean, one of the ones I go to and watch every year is like Holiday Inn, White Christmas. My favorite is It's a Wonderful Life. That's one I for sure watch every year.
I mean, I like the OG National Lampoon Vacation. I love that one. European Vacation. I mean, that movie was okay.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation might be the worst one. I thought was Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, I didn't, as much as I didn't care for Vacation, the Ed Helms one in 2005. I felt Vegas was a lot worse.
Vegas was like one of the worst ones ever. Like,
but the best joke in there is like, I don't know, I can't recognize you kids anymore. That was the best joke ever.
I mean, Chevy Chase, he's like one of the all-time best. Outside of the like National Lampoon movies, it's like Snow Day.
Yeah, like right out here in Chicago, or right from Chicagoland area. So,
yeah. Hell, he don't even really look like himself anymore.
No, he doesn't.
But it's like outside of the Christmas Vacation and even Caddyshack, it's like I only remember him in those movies. Snow Day, Orange County, Caddyshack, and Hot Tub Time Machine.
Three Amigos
also.
Yeah.
Him and Steve Martin and who's the fucking third one?
Martin
Short. Yeah. That movie was like that. Was that a 90s movie or that was an 80s movie?
Hey, that was late 80s.
Oh, that 86. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I would love to go back and watch that too. Yeah.
Oh, we are the Three Amigos.
I always see that meme everywhere. And I was like, I forgot. I remember Steve Martin was in it. I forgot Chevy Chase was in it. But he was in the fucking middle of like them wearing the damn mariachi outfits.
Talking about 80s comedies. Do you know that Bill Murray was supposed to play Sergeant Mahoney in Police Academy before they got Steve Guttenberg?
No, I didn't know that. And
yeah, Bill Murray. They wanted Bill Murray, but I'm like, but Steve Guttenberg came in and they realized that not only could he do comedy, but he also could be the straight man too for some of the other actors. And where Bill Murray would always be Bill Murray and would have to be not the straight man in that group.
Yeah.
So I think they went with the better choice anyways with Steve Guttenberg.
Oh yeah. Well, this was fantastic. And I still got one more movie to watch. Every Thanksgiving I always watch Zack and Miri.
Okay.
Because it happened It started on Royal Wednesday. They go through Thanksgiving. They don't really get Christmassy in that movie ever, but it's
No.
like this is something I could sit through on
Well, this
Thanksgiving.
one they kind of do because of Planters and All Meals. They kind of do because of the lights, but that's pretty much just anywhere you see now too. So
Yeah, well, this was fun.
it was. I mean, on my Thanksgiving watch list, I also have Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
I need to look into that. Like I heard Dylan told me on last night that if you have Apple TV, you can catch the Charlie Brown movies.
Yes, you
And
can.
I have Apple TV only just to have season pass for the MLS, and they told
Instant
me
Family
yeah.
Family is a Thanksgiving movie. So is Dan in Real Life.
Well, if Charlie Brown has all their movies in here, then I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to add Charlie Brown Christmas to the Christmas marathon.
Yeah. Great Pumpkin during Halloween. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it says renew Apple TV. I didn't know my shit expired. Renew Apple TV Plus if I want to watch it. Like, I'm pretty sure I could find this on YouTube and watch it too.
Yeah, you could.
Oh,
and
they have
only 30 minutes, so.
Yeah, like it's not
Great
even like
Pumpkin.
super. Yeah, I see that Charlie Brown Christmas and the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, which that was Dylan's favorite. Jordan's favorite was Charlie Brown Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And you think
a Thanksgiving movie, Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore.
And you think they play these on TV too?
You would think like Christmas, you see them all the time. Thanksgiving, you don't really get any. The only thing really you get on TV every year on Christmas is Lions, Cowboys, and the Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's about it. There's Black Friday. That's a Thanksgiving movie with what's his face? Oh, Bruce Campbell and and Michael Jai White. Yeah.
Well, I found it on YouTube. It's split. I don't know if these are the right orders. You got to watch them, but it's like cut into like 8 different scenes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a half an hour movie, so yeah, it's probably cut.
Like the video at the top is where she holding the football and she moves it out the way.
Yep.
Which I forgot that's where it came from. I thought that was just like a Charlie Brown like cartoon episode or something. I didn't know that was in a movie.
No. Well, it is that time, Marcus. It's time to close it up for the night. I just want to say thank you for coming on here, bro. Thanks for joining me for this watch along. I want to say thank you for everyone who was watching this watch along with us. Thank you for joining in. And if you're catching this on a replay, just watch along with us on the replay too. It was a great time. It's a good movie. If you have never seen this movie, I recommend you watch it. And if you've seen this and this is one of your favorites, comment down below if it is. And as Marcus, when we close out, tell everyone where they can find you one more time.
I'm on Twitter at MarcusLee337. I'm on Facebook, Instagram as well. The podcast, World Elite Podcast, is on Twitter at World Elite Pod. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm also on YouTube as well if you want to check out Sportsmania Plus on the Game Breaker Sports Network and everything as well.
You guys, as always, could find me down below. You guys could find all my stuff down below. On to all social media, it's the BINBUSTER. Right here on YouTube, it's BINBUSTER. I have some breaking news right here about this channel. I'm still doing lives, but I'm going to be doing them every other week from now on. So you're not going to get one from me next week, but you're going to get one from me the week after. Just because I want to do some more recorded videos in there, and it's a lot harder to do a live and a recorded video each week. So it's like, okay, I could put a recorded video here, another live and the recorded video. That way, if I wanted to do something like holiday specials, I could throw in a live and do a live holiday special or something like that too. So it works a lot better than just trying to do something every week, because sometimes my schedule's up in the air with work. So you guys have to look forward to in the month of December. So there will be no live next week, but there will be a recorded video next week. But then I will be back on Tuesdays on my regular time on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time with random videos on here for my live stream, which are usually going to be either rankings, top 5, rankings, top 10 videos, stuff like that. So you don't want to miss those. I might even, you know what? We're getting into Christmas. I just start ranking all the Christmas Carol movies on one of my lives. So tune in for that. Ranking all the Christmas Carol movies. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And I just gotta say thank you again, Marcus, for joining us, and everyone, thanks for watching. And if you haven't, do as Hunter does. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, and hit the bell notification for whenever I drop a video. Until next time, we are out. I'll see you guys later. Bye.